it started. But I am going to go ahead and and tell you guys the story. So to preface the story, I have trouble going to sleep. So I have to meditate when I go to sleep. I have to meditate into my sleep. I have insomnia. There's nothing I can do about it. Side note, the shirt is as a medium, which is why it's huge on me, but I'm having bad body image and nothing fits me. Anyways, so I have to meditate to go to sleep. So I go into meditation and stuff happens. In this particular meditation, I was... Should I get... Yeah, fuck it, I don't care. I was hanging out with Kaylee, K-Bubbles, from Twitch. We were hanging out at my house, and we were traveling around and doing things, and in my meditation, it was a huge, it was a huge lesson in freedom and in, you know, understanding each other, and there was a lot of underlying messages for me in my meditation that it's not really important to the story. But in the meditation, we had gone back to my house, and I was sleeping in this bed, and she was sleeping in a bed literally on the side of this. Like, it was like a huge, like, cot in my meditation. And she's going to sleep, and I'm going to sleep in my meditation. And typically at this time, most meditations would end. But as I was like sort of like in the middle of the meditation, it was about to end, and it's a sleep meditation, so it's a little bit different than most normal meditations. This is where I get all of my information from. This is where I get messages. This is exactly when I was told, like, this is like what I did when I was told my dogs were going to die, and then they did die. Like, this is where I got a lot of information, a lot of signs, a lot of predictions, and stuff like that. And you also have to remember that when you are in a dream state, you are the most vulnerable that you could be. So, especially right before you fall asleep. So, I'm in this meditation, and I'm, you know, learning things, whatever. And all of a sudden, I see something. It's like a cloud of smoke forming behind Kaylee in this meditation. And I turned around, and I was like, what the fuck? And it's literally swirling. And it's swirling and swirling and swirling. And all of a sudden, it forms a head. Okay? And it's a guy. And I felt, and I could, like, see, like, this fog of red smoke, like, push on top of my body. And I'm in this bed, and I'm laying back, and it's like, it would look like fire, but it was like smoke, and it blew around my entire body, and just, like, it, like, flat ironed my body, and to where I was locked, and it felt burning hot, like, it was, like, red fire, burning hot, and my whole body was, like, on fire, and so it pinned me down, and I couldn't move, and I was like, what the fuck? And at this point, I started to realize that my meditation was over. This thing was pulling me out of my meditation, so I'm, like, literally, like, I'm turning around in Kaylee in the meditation, but I can see, like, it start to disappear because my meditation is done, and it's pulling me out of this meditation. And so I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I basically get out of my meditation, and this thing has me pinned, okay? I'm completely out of my meditation, and this thing has me pinned. And so I'm laying there, and this thing has, like, this fire and this red smoke that literally is, like, literally fire, and it's pinning me down, and I can't move. And immediately I started calling for God. Immediately. As soon as I saw the head, I started screaming for God. I was like, God, please protect me. Please help me. Please save me. Please protect me. If you're in a meditation and that starts happening, that's how you know this shit is fucking real. Because it was immediate. It was absolutely immediate that I was calling for help. Immediately. Like, there was no hesitation, no nothing. Immediately, my entire, like, psychic, whatever the fuck you want to call it, muscle was screaming for help. Like, it was immediate. Okay? And there was no ifs, ands, or buts about this. Like, this is like a blatant attack. And there's, like, I was not at all, like, under the guise of anything. I knew this was an attack. And so I'm screaming for help. And I'm, like, getting pulled out of my meditation. And all of a sudden, this face appears. And you guys are going to laugh. But I swear to God, and I have the notes, I swear to God, this thing was so vibrant, okay? It was so real, and it was like a human, okay? And I'll give you the exact note that I have, because I as soon as I woke up and got I was able to get up, I wrote everything down. It had a Jamaican accent, but it was like I don't know if it was like necessarily Jamaican or if it was like voodoo, because I honestly, now the more that I think about it, I think it was like a voodoo thing, or like an ancient voodoo type thing, because it had such, it's like, you know, when you watch a movie and you see like, you know what it reminded me of? When you watch American Horror Story Coven and the voodoo priestess, like the way she speaks and all of her people, the way they speak, it sounds like the voodoo imagery, the fire and smoke. Yes, that's exactly what it was. Like, that's what it was. And like, this man came to me and he said, "You're done for." That's what he put his face in my face and he said, "You're done for." It was like pure voodoo imagery, and he came in my face and he said, "You're done for." And he had this, he had these like, I saw his head. He was bald. He was darker, and he had like these chiseled cheekbones, and it was, I'm telling you, it was voodoo. And he like looked at me and he was like, "You're done for." And then I saw a ton of hands grab him and pull him completely out. Like, he got sucked out of like my window. Like, there was like 50 hands that grabbed him and threw him out of my window. And so when they're throwing him out of my window, I started like, because I could move again. And as I'm doing this, I realized that whatever the fuck he did opened me up so much that I had mediumship for like 5 minutes, where I was looking around everywhere and I could see and hear and feel ghosts. I was looking at spirit. I was seeing spirit. They were humans. They were literally like humans. It was like full body. Everything was full body. I could hear them speak. I could see them. I could feel them. I could feel them touching me. And one of them looked at me, and it was a guy, and he goes, and I wrote this down. He said, "Oh my God, you're hearing this. Oh my God, are you hearing this? You're hearing this. You're hearing me. You're hearing this. Oh my God, is he seeing this? Oh my God, he's seeing this. He's seeing me. He's seeing us. He's finally hearing and seeing us. Oh my God. Oh my God." And I'm looking around, and there's just like a bunch of people like, "Oh my God, finally you're hearing and seeing us. You're hearing and seeing us." And I was so like overwhelmed. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I was like stuck in this for like 3 minutes straight, where I was just like looking and feeling and seeing spirit. And it was like incredible, and it was magical. And I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. This is sick. And then I snapped out of it, and I got up in real life, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I literally, it was like my soul like jumped back into my body. And so I'm like, I got up, and the first thing I did was like, I'm like thinking about, I'm like, okay, I'm like, okay, what is this? Who is this related to? What is this? And the first thought I had was, maybe it's Elle's guy. And I was like, no, it's not Elle's guy. And I immediately heard no. I heard, no, it's not Elle's guy. I'm like, I don't think it's Elle's guy. It's not Elle's guy. And so I was thinking, I was like, well, it's connected to K-Bubbles. It's connected to Kaylee because it came from behind her. I was like, and the only reason why I would even have her in my meditation is if it was happening for a reason. And so I was like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? It has to have some relation to her. And so I said, I felt the need to tweet it. So I was like, I don't know, I'm just feeling like I should tweet it. So I tweeted it. And if you guys check my Twitter, let me check my Twitter. I can tell you guys exactly what I tweeted. So I tweeted, just got woken up from a psychic attack, extremely vivid, holy shit, I'm fine, but I've never seen and heard a spirit so strongly in my life, story later. As soon as I typed that and sent it, Kaylee responded and said, "Oh Lord," on Twitter. And I was like, oh my God, that's a sign. And so I responded and I was like, it involved you. I'm still trying to piece it together. I'll tell you later. Because I wanted to tell her, because I knew it was a sign that she immediately responded to me. I knew it was a sign, but I didn't want to scare her. So I was like, it's fine. I'll tell you later. And she happened to be streaming at the time, which I didn't know. So it was even more insane that she felt the need to go on Twitter and open it up. Okay? And so she immediately texts me and she goes, I had a sinking feeling in my stomach when I saw that and I knew it was about me, which is why I replied. And I said, really? You knew it was about me? She said, yes, I knew it was about me. And so I said, why? I said, has anything been happening recently? And she's like, I've been having terrible nightmares for the past 3 nights of me dying. She's like, I've been having the chills. I've been having nightmares of me being killed, me being murdered, and all this stuff. And she's like, and I don't know where or why it's happening. And so I was like, holy shit. I'm like, Kaylee, this is a demon. I'm like, the demon just attacked me. I'm like, this is a demon. So she's like freaking out. I'm like, you need to not freak out. You need to relax. I said, because this thing is not attached to you. It's not attached to you. I said, it cannot be attached to you because if it was attached to you, I would have felt it. I would have felt it when we met the other week. I was like, because we met, like, was it 2 weeks ago? I was like, I would have felt it. I was like, you don't have a demon attached to you because I would have immediately felt it. And I said, this thing would have already attacked me if it was attached to you. Okay? Why would it attack me now and say, and I quote, you're done for. I also will tell you, when it said this to me, I could feel that it wasn't as strong as it pretended to be. I could feel it wasn't as strong as it pretended to be. It was pretending to be much stronger than it was. Still strong, but that it was much stronger than it was. Pretending. And so she's like freaking out. I'm like, you need to get black tourmaline. We'll figure this out. I was like, but it's not attached to you. It has to be attached to someone else. I was like, it can't be attached to you. It has to be attached to someone else. She said it's been starting the past couple of days. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think we've kind of figured out where the fuck this attack came from. But I don't know how it's going to be received. And that's kind of where we're at right now, trying to figure out exactly where this thing is from, what's happened, and what to do. Toxic, thank you so much for the 500 bits. I love you, Daddy. I miss you. How are you? How's life? So, it's kind of insane. It's an absolutely crazy thing. We're just trying to piece together what's going on and where it came from and what it's doing. And we're trying to understand what happened. I was shook when I first got up, but I felt strong. I am not scared. I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared at all. This thing was not going to intimidate me or instill a fear into me. It wasn't going to happen. So I'm not afraid, but, and I was highly, highly protected. Like I said before, those hands threw this thing the fuck out. Thank you, God. But this is definitely something that is important because there are multiple levels to this. There are multiple levels to what the fuck happened. And there are multiple, like, I literally had mediumship abilities for like 5 minutes. I had full-blown mediumship. Like, completely hearing, seeing, it was as if they were normal people. Like, no one is going to believe me, and I don't care if nobody believes me, but I'm telling you, I had full-blown mediumship abilities for 5 minutes. It was awesome. And all I'm telling you, the spirits were telling me it's about time. Like, they were all like, finally. It's like they're waiting for me to be like awakened. It was insane. There was so much that happened in such a short amount of time. Sorry, let me catch up on the chat. The other thing is I'm going